So once you set up this template, it'll give you the same template every month, which is really, really nice.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Welcome if you are new. Today I'm going to take you guys through the best way to set up a digital budget. So it's going to be a long one. Grab a snack, grab a drink, buckle in, get comfy, because it's going to be a while. So if that is something that you are interested in, then just keep watching.
Alrighty, welcome to my budget. We're going to go ahead and talk about February for 2021. It is mid-January right now, so I'm going to go ahead and set up our February budget. But some things that you guys may need to set up this digital budget is you might need your phone. If you have any notes or if you have a budget kind of set up on here, you might need it for the calendar, or you might just want to use a regular old-fashioned planner calendar, which you're going to need something to look at dates with. And you're also going to need to know how much your household income is. And you also need to know your bills. So look back at your bank statements, look for your rent, your utilities, your Wi-Fi, your car insurance, your car payments, your debt, anything that you know that you pay every month. And then we can talk about groceries and variable expenses later, but really look at your bills for right now. And then as you budget those, then you can see how much money you have left over for everything else. So the first thing is that this is EveryDollar. So let me go ahead and move this stuff around. This is Dave Ramsey's budgeting app. I love it. We've been using this our entire marriage. It's the best. I've used Google Sheets. I've used Mint, which is another app that you can use. I've used tons and tons and tons of different digital budgeting softwares. I've used pen and paper. And this is the best thing for my husband and I. We can both access it on our phones. We can both add things to it. We can change it, customize it, whatever. It is honestly the best budgeting software. You can also upgrade to the premium and it can connect to your bank and add transactions for you. I'm a big nerd. I like manually adding transactions, but that is an option if you and your spouse or you are at a spot where you don't necessarily maybe need to track every single transactions like we do because we are on our debt-free journey, then you can sign up for the premium and get the bank account set up, which is cool. We might do that one day, but again, I'm a big nerd, so you never know. So here's February 2021. Now this is what it looks like when you first get into EveryDollar. This is what the EveryDollar budget looks like. They have an income spot, a giving, savings, housing, transportation, food, personal, lifestyle, health, insurance, and debt. Now, this is not what I use. Sorry, let me move my chair forward. Look up, buddy. Okay, sorry, my dog was under my chair. This is not how I use their groups. I like to customize it, and I like to budget by paychecks. I like to change the group names to be the amount that I'm getting paid, and then also the date of the pay period. And then I put all of the bills within that pay period under that group. So first thing I'm going to do is delete everything and start fresh. So here we go. It'll take me a minute. Now, the one thing that kind of sucks is that you can't delete this debt group, but I just ignore it and pretend like it doesn't exist because you can go ahead and just delete these other groups as a whole, which is nice. Okay, now I have a blank canvas to go ahead and add our incomes and our bills. So let's go ahead and talk about our income. So my husband and I both receive a regular paycheck from our jobs. My husband should receive, sorry, I didn't add enough zeros, should receive about $4,000 from his job, and then I should receive, sorry, this is shaky, I'm trying not to make it shaky, about $2,500. I also add an extra category. Now this is if I decide to DoorDash. In January, our stimulus check was added into this extra category. I then, on a Google Sheet, break down the extra category and I keep track of it there. But in EveryDollar, I just like to keep it simple and just add it as an extra and then go from there. I'm not going to budget anything for it because I don't know if I'm DoorDashing. I don't know if we're receiving any extra income. I'm not going to budget for it because I don't make myself side hustle. I don't make myself DoorDash. If I really feel like it, then it's great. And if it's in a month, like if this month turns out that we don't have enough money to cover it, then I will DoorDash. But I don't make myself do it unless I want to. And then when I do get a paycheck, I will go ahead and add it. And then all of our extra money right now is just going to debt. So there's really no reason to budget it because I know where it's going. So let's go ahead and talk about how I set up our EveryDollar. So it's a little bit unconventional, I think. I really like to budget by paycheck. I like to know per paycheck how much of that paycheck do I get to throw at debt, and how much of that paycheck do I have to spend on bills. If you are debt free, how much of a paycheck do you get to save? If you know how much, to the dollar, how much you need to spend, then you are more likely to be able to throw more at your debt, as opposed to just guessing like, oh, I think I have $500 worth of bills, so I can do this with this money. I like to know exactly how much. That way every dollar is accounted for, and there's no random money just sitting somewhere, because that is a very easy way to get in a weird financial situation. So what I do is I create a group per paycheck. So I'm going to go ahead and add groups here. And then I also add a group for variable expenses. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I create, again, a variable expense group, and then I also create a group per paycheck. And since February has 4 Fridays, we have 4 paychecks. So I'm going to go ahead and title this first one Variable Expenses. And this is for things like groceries, gas, things that don't have a specific due date, and that could change from month to month. Now, the title of my paychecks. This is something that I've really found has helped me, especially because on this right side, they give you a breakdown of what your budget looks like. So I try to utilize these titles as much as possible to give me a quick look at our budget. So we have $6,500 to budget for the month of February. My husband gets paid every week, so he's going to get about $1,000 per week, and I get paid every other week, so about $1,250 every other week. So I need to look at on my calendar, okay, what's a Nate and Abby paycheck day, and what's just a Nate paycheck day? Because on the Nate and Abby paycheck days, there's going to be more than on the days that my husband just gets paid. So in the month of February, my first paycheck is on the 5th. So that's paycheck number 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and title this. Again, I really try and take advantage of this title to give me as much information. Sorry, my hair's crazy. As much information as possible for on the right side where that quick look is. So I'm going to go ahead and write our estimated income. Again, my husband will get paid about $1,000 and I'll get paid about $1,250. So together about $2,250. And this is paycheck number 1 on Feb 5th. And then I just title every paycheck similarly. So for paycheck number 2 in this group down here, it'll just be my husband that's getting paid. So I'm going to put $1,000 paycheck number 2 on the 12th of February. Again, I like to use a calendar. That way I can put the specific day. That way when I'm looking at my bills, I can go ahead and just sort them into their proper category easier because I have the date of the paycheck in front of me. I'm going to go ahead and add the last 2. Great. Now that I've added the dates and everything, I'm going to bring this debt group down here. Again, you can't delete this. That's my only gripe about it, is I just don't want to use this. This has a cool function where it can like track your debt details. You can set a due date, starting balance, minimum payment, so on and so forth. You can add notes, but I like to track that because again, I'm a nerd. I like to track that on my own Google Sheet, so I just don't use theirs. But this is definitely something to look into. If you're not as big of a nerd, you can just input the information here and then it can go from there. So, but I'm just gonna go ahead. I pretend like it doesn't exist, but that's just me. So far we have our income up here, and we have our variable expenses group, and then we have our paychecks. Again, I like to budget per paycheck. That way I know how much I need to make sure that I'm allotting for bills, and then whatever I do with the rest of the money, I can go ahead and throw to savings, debt, whatever. So just looking at our bills first. I like to do my variable expenses last and our bills first, because how much money we have left over after our bills dictates some variable expenses, right? Like I won't give us as much fun money if we don't have the money for fun money. So I go ahead and look at our bills first, and then I do it from there. So let me take a sip real quick. The first paycheck of the month we have two payments. We have both of our car payments. So I put the name, Chrysler, because I have a Chrysler, of the debt, and then I put the due date. Now the due date does not matter. It's more just for my brain to make sure that I'm putting it in the correct category. But they're both going to be paid on the 5th, just because anytime I get paid, our bills come out on that payday. So I only have to worry about money coming from our account once as opposed to multiple times a week. Unless it's auto pay, of course, then I can't control that. But I really try and budget and schedule everything for the day of payday. That way it's over with faster. So these are our two for the first paycheck. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest here. Again, I put the name of the bill or debt or whatever. I put the pay date, and then I put the amount. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with this. As you guys can see, as I'm adding bills, our left to budget goes down. So just kind of keep a look at this every once in a while and make sure that we're within our budget. And paycheck number 4. This is our big one. Awesome. So there's all of our bills. So again, the first paycheck, we have 2 bills that come out. And then we have 3 for number 2. We have a lot for our third paycheck. The stupid tax, it was something that we did 5 years ago. Well, it started 5 years ago. If you guys want a video on it, let me know. But basically, we have to pay $340.85 for something really stupid. And then paycheck number 4 is our big one because that's when rent comes out. So if you look over to the right side, why I do the groups the way that I do is because this gives such a great overview of our paychecks. So paycheck number 1, in the title, I put $22.50, and I know it says it's $635.84. This is how much is budgeted in this group. So I know, okay, paycheck number 1, we're great. We're going to have plenty of money to pay our bills and then also have groceries, so on and so forth. Paycheck number 2, again, we're great. $344 easily fits into $1,000. Paycheck number 3, $750-ish fits into $22.50. Paycheck number 4, however, is where it gets tricky. So because only my husband gets paid on the 26th and our biggest bills, our rent is due on the 1st, which is within that paycheck, then I need to make sure that from paycheck number 3, I have enough to pay it. So paycheck number 4 is going to be about $1,000. So $1,954 minus $1,000 is about $954 plus having a couple extra hundred for gas, groceries, so on and so forth, which should be totally fine just because this is a larger amount and we should be fine to have money left over. So there's all of our bills. Now let's talk about variable expenses. So we have our left to budget up here. We still have $2,800 left to budget, which is very exciting. So now I can go ahead and add everything for our variable expenses. So we tithe 10% of our income, no matter what. That is one thing that we have agreed on as a couple with God, that we are 10% tithers. So that is, a conversation for you to have with your spouse or with God, whether that's something you are convicted of. So we are, so we do it. Groceries, about $500, which seems very high, but my brother is currently living with us. So we have a higher grocery bill right now. Nate, oops, there. I can't even spell my husband's name. $160. Myself, we each get $40 a week of fun money. I'm currently saving mine because I'm trying to do a low spend year. That's not working very well. So I'm trying to save mine up for young living things and a tattoo. So here's some variable expenses. Now we have 2 other variable expenses that kind of depend on the other variable expenses. So we have a fun fund and we have miscellaneous, just in case we need to catch if we need to purchase a new, random things that come up throughout the month. it's nice to have a budget or a cushion to put those things in. So with our fun fund, that is like a dirt bike jeeping fund that we put together because that is something that we like to do, and it's something that we didn't want to compromise on. So we take 4% of our income, that's a number that we both agreed on, and we put it towards our fun fund. So it's kind of like a sinking fund where if it rolls over, if we don't use it, and then it can go towards, buying parts for the Jeep, saving up for me to get my own ATV, so on and so forth. So for our fun fund, again, we do 4% every month. So we take $6,500 and multiply it by 4%, and that is $260. And then for miscellaneous, we really don't have that many. We haven't had many miscellaneous expenses come up, so I'm gonna do $150. And I'm gonna move these so that they are in greatest to least order. I don't know why I do that. I do that with all of our bills too. I don't know if you guys noticed that. It's just greatest to least. Because again, the payment date doesn't matter because this is due on the 8th, but this is due on the 10th, but they're both gonna get paid on the 5th. So their due date to me doesn't matter. But I like to have it in greatest order. Like this is, I guess that is in order. Oh, this one's out of order. Disney Plus is due on the 19th. So it should be up here, right? At the beginning of our budget, but all of this will get paid on the 19th. So it really doesn't matter to me. I just like to have things in greatest to least order. Keeps it organized, that you can kind of see what your budget, the bigger categories of your budget versus the smaller. So here are our variable expenses. Now we still have $577.24 to budget. Now, typically I would go ahead and make sure that I talk with my husband about our budget before February 1st. So I am the nerd. I totally like setting up the budgets. We've been married for 5 years. We've done 60 budgets together, 60 plus budgets together. So I kind of know how our budget meetings go. He appreciates that I set it up for us, and then we kind of talk about it from there. So I'm going to go ahead and move on from here, but just know that this $577.24, before I budget it, typically I do have a conversation with my husband. Is there anything I missed? Valentine's Day, for example. I don't know if we're doing anything for Valentine's Day. I'm assuming no, because the world's closed. But if I miss something, someone's birthday that we need to budget a gift for, or anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and put this towards our debt snowball. So I like to create another group for our debt snowball because it gives me a percentage. Now you don't have to, but I really like to see how much of our budget our debt snowball is. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new group and call it Debt Snowball. Again, you do not have to. I just am a nerd and I like to see the group category. I like to see it on the percentage. So I'm going to go ahead and move this up here towards the variable expenses, just under the variable expenses. I don't want it to be at that. Okay, I guess I can't move it down there without minimizing it. So $577.24 is going towards our debt snowball. Now I like to just label it debt snowball because there could be multiple things that we're paying off, like if we're ending one, starting another. I just like to name it debt snowball as opposed to what it's going to. That's just, again, my preference. Everyone just needs to do what is best for them. Again, I just like naming it debt snowball. And then as I add transactions, I name what we put it towards. So that's our budget. I'm so excited. February 2021 is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over this one more time just to make sure maybe I'll answer any questions. Oh my gosh, my dog back there. Answer any questions you guys may have. So this is our, okay. Oh, Nala would like to say hi. Would you like to say hi to the people? This is Nala. Okay, so, this is our income. Again, it's my husband and I's. And then if I DoorDash, I go ahead and add it to this category. And then it all just gets thrown at our debt snowball. So I don't need to add a budget category for it because it's just gonna get added to the debt snowball category. This is how much extra we're gonna be able to throw at debt this month. This is very exciting. We always tithe 10%. Groceries, gas, fund. We each get about $40 Oh my gosh, we each get down, Olive. $40 per week for fun money. Again, I'm trying to do a low spend year. January was not very successful. But I'm trying to save up all my monies, and that way at some point in the year I can get a tattoo, and then I can buy Young Living essential oils. We budget some money for our dogs to get dog food and toys because they tear through toys. And then again, I budget by paycheck because I like this side view over here of being able to see, it's cool to see the percentages too, but I just like being able to see, okay, this is how much about we're going to be receiving, $22.50, and this is how much we are spending. So just making sure that we're within our means. And then like I said, for this paycheck number 4, it's in my brain, I now know that for paycheck number 3, some of it needs to go to paycheck number 4. So, or week number 4, I guess I should say. Here's our payments for the month. And that is it. So hopefully, I haven't really seen anyone approach EveryDollar like this. Again, this is the best digital budgeting method that I have found. The Google Sheets just really didn't work for me. You can't track your expenses. Oh, I'll show you guys that. So if let's say I make a debt snowball payment to my car. So let's say I made a $200 payment. You can add the date that you made it. So let's say I made it on the 1st. Debt snowball, I'm gonna made it to my car. You can also split it between categories. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that. And then it takes it away from the category, which is pretty sweet. So I really like this method. It's worked really, really well for my husband and I. It's an app on your phone. So my husband can add his transactions from his phone. I can look at it on our computer. It's been such a great tool for us to use and a great communication method for us because, if something comes out of our account, then my husband can add it where it belongs. And I'm not questioning, oh, what was this for? Because he's added it into the budget and it fits in the budget and everything is okay. Now, obviously, my husband and I have, little budget meetings throughout the month if things change, like, hey, this needs to happen. So like, for example, in January, we purchased some emergency preparedness things. So that was something that we talked about, added to our budget, and we moved on from there. But I hope you guys enjoyed seeing how I utilize EveryDollar. It really works for me. If you guys try this budget by paycheck method in EveryDollar, please let me know. Please let me know if it works for you. If you have a budgeting app method that you like to use, let me know that down below as well. We will see you guys next time. Bye. There's one last thing I wanted to mention. If you go to the next month, so like March 2021, it'll say, hey there, looks like you need a budget for March. We'll copy February's budget to get you started. So once you set up this template, it'll give you the same template every month, which is really, really nice. So you can change the numbers. Obviously, you'll have to change the dates, but the basic setup is already there for you. So you can go ahead and just change a few things. Add a group or two if you need to, like if there's an extra paycheck or whatever, add an extra group. But really, it is a great, great tool that you can just copy the budget because for the most part, everything stays about the same time frame, about the same amount, besides, your variable expenses. So that is something else I wanted to add. Okay, bye.